Alright, I'll try to explain this a little bit here. What I'm running here, these are all three Slim Sperling environmental clearing CD frequencies from his CD, as well as I looped it together with the 7.83 hertz resonance of the Schumann. So that tends to enhance the field radius of the harmonizers, but we're not dowsing that field radius today. It would maybe be larger than I'm able to back up and find with the L rods. So I'd probably have to pendulum dowse. It could be a few miles or so. So I would have to pendulum dowse them values. What we're showing today are the values that I found, and what we're going to do is explain the importance of aligning your pyramid to the cardinal directions. And I recommend getting Slim's books. I have the first one digitally, and I bought a hard copy of his second one, In the Mind of a Master. But and it explains in here the field radius of the harmonizer is being expanded with acoustical recordings, and you can make a coil, and you can drive frequencies into these with a coil, or you can audibly drive frequencies in. So what I've done is dowsed with L rods and found some values of the pyramid aligned to the cardinal directions, and then I dowsed the pyramid not aligned to the cardinal directions, and we get a different value or field radius from the device. When it's aligned, you get a larger field radius. When it's not aligned, it's not as large. So a little bit about that there. Here's my values. Not aligned, we got 26 foot 7 inches from the center out. And aligned, or the diameter of that is 53.2. Aligned, we get 55.9 from the center out, and the diameter of that aligned is 111.6 inches. So that's the values I got here, and I'll show you in a second. And so what I've done here is I used the sacred cubit measure for my dimensions, and so the base is 1 sacred cubit measure tensor ring, and then this is a Russian high angle or a Nubian pyramid. The angle is I believe 72 degrees. So what you got to do is you take your one side and you multiply by the golden means, 1.618, and that will give you your upright measurement that you need to make to construct a Russian high angle. So, and okay, so that's 1 sacred cubit measure, and then my coil, my acu-vac coil here, is 2 sacred cubit measures. And I got some orgonite. I got a nice little orgonite hat on her here, and I actually brazed my coil to my frame. I didn't dowse whether that would be stronger or not. It was more functional to do that, to keep it centered here and not wobble or go crooked whenever the resin was curing. I'd imagine it might make the piece function better or stronger having the coil brazed to the frame. And this was pretty tough to get all this in here like this around there and still look a little pretty here. We got some shungite powder in there. We got some sodalite, some selenite. Got a nice selenite capstone here, and we got some pyrite and some metal swarf, some quartz, some pure silicon sand, a couple other ingredients, some amethyst and rose quartz. But so here we'll just walk up here and show the values. Benefits of tensor technology is it helps to harmonize chaotic EMF, helps to clean up atmospheric pollution, and soil and water pollution as well, they found. I would refer you to go read about the Denver brown cloud incident that Slim Sperling was working on. He was using harmonizers around the Denver area, and they cleaned up. The first thing to disappear was carbon monoxide, was the first thing to disappear from the atmosphere when running the harmonizers. And they went from the double digits down to the single digits, or triple digits to double digits. So we'll just go, this is ground zero where I measured from, and we'll go up here. What we're looking at is 25 foot here, and this is where, with the dowsing rods, I found the immediate sphere of influence to be of this pyramid not aligned to the cardinal directions. So not aligned to the cardinal directions, we have 26 foot 7 inches all the way around it. A spherical bubble, or a energy toroid of energy. It's a roughly 26 foot 7 inches on all sides of the device. And so we'll just keep moving here. This is 50 foot. And this is where I found now when I dowsed and asked, the 55 foot 9 inches aligned to the cardinal directions. Now when I dowsed and asked, I asked for the immediate sphere of influence put off by the device. I perceive that there's probably other spheres of influences, just the way that our auric field has a facade body in different layers. I would imagine there's other subtle energy values, but I dowsed and asked, can you please fairly and accurately show me the immediate sphere of influence or energy toroid put off by this device aligned? And then I asked not aligned. And as you can see here, this house, if you were to use this in the center of your house, it would help to clean up the EMF pollution within just about this whole structure. And I like to go one further. I've been reading throughout all of my learnings and journey here. I've been reading to black tourmaline, even buried at all four corners of your home, would help to dispel negative energies, geopathic stress. And so I like to go one further and make some nice strong tower busters out of orgonite and play with black tourmaline and place them at all four corners as well. And what Slim Sperling was doing was he was locating geopathic stress that was coming into the homes and people and blocking them, to the point where he was taking a staple. You can isolate where a stress line is in the ground, and then you can decipher which way it's running. So if it was coming from that side of the house running this way, I would go on that side of the house and I would take an L rod, just like a dowsing rod, and I would put it in the ground, say here's the line, you put the L rod directly there to block the line, and what it does is bounces the energy up over the abutment. And people have had relief from migraines by doing this. I would refer you to Twisted Sage and Brian Besco. Brian Besco has been using the Teotihuacan measure, or the STU cubit. 1/3 of that measure, I got a golden light rod and I've been toying around with it with dowsing, and pretty profound. What that measure, you can utilize that to clear up geopathic stress lines, and it works pretty well. But the old knob and tube method was how Slim Sperling was doing it, to put the stake in the ground or a staple and bounce it over the house or residence. So we have many options to take care of this. I love technology, I do. I love technology, but it's not really the healthiest for us. So it's just a little bit here today about some field radiuses and the best way to utilize your pyramid for its greatest advantages is to have it aligned to the cardinal directions. So anybody listening or watching this, I hope you found this informative. Go ahead and leave some comments. I love to discuss anything anybody else has learned, as I sure as hell don't know it all, and never claim to. So in any of these videos, if I'm wrong, please correct me, and I would love to learn as well. So, alright.